Good evening. I am Ali Zahid. As the founder member of the Baker Foundation, I wish to speak a few words on this most renowned historic occasion of the Battle of the Comrades, a big match between St. Xavier's College and the Pater Holmes, Pater Memorial School. So, I like to make this occasion to glimpse into my memory lane and speak to you some beautiful things that I know and heard of the two schools. You know, as a small boy, I joined the Pater Memorial School in 1953. I was living at Hill Street in a house called Trinity Lodge, the present Labour Office. That was my home where I was born. Early morning, 7:30, I used to carry my lunch and trot my way to school. But then it was different. It was very fresh, nice. I could hear the streams flow and then come up the Reservoir Road, now they call it Gemruma, and go to school. And at that time, I can remember, Gamini School was just also close to our house, their beginnings. Joining our mosque, the present MyMBA building was Gamini School, like the children used to play there. And the St. Xavier's children, they also, I meet them here off and on. Then I go to school. And there, my first principal was Miss Breed. We call her Auntie Avril. She's a wonderful lady. Her brother, Chris Breed, who was an announcer at Radio Ceylon, and also a famous international film star who took part in the Bridge of the River Kawai. Uncle. Now in school we always call them uncles and aunties. It's a Pater Holmes, this family. You come into the Pater Holmes, I must tell you it's a very important thing. What's the history of the Pater Holmes? The little that I know is, the Pater Holmes belonged to the Indian Christian Mission, the ICM. It is somewhere around 1920 odd that Reverend Painter arrived to Ceylon and he started a small missionary school in Magastota. That's where today I am the founder member of Baker Foundation. Their memories came to Baker. Pater Holmes only instilled this concept into me. It's not like this. Now, this little story was told in my second standard somewhere in 1954. We used to sit down in front of the classroom. And Auntie Avril, she used to tell us stories. My classmates were Kishan Bhutani, Merle Ferdinand, Charmaine, Cordell, and the others, most of them are in Australia. Then she said, it's like this. You know, we started this thing at Mahagastota, the school, and in Mahagastota, you know, Pater Holmes had some connection with the Baker's farm also. Actually, through Pater Holmes that I got so much interest in the Baker's farm. It is said, when Sir Samuel Baker came to Ceylon, the shipload of cattle, poultry and all, he also brought his blacksmith and his parson, the priest. Now the priest, his name was Fowler. The Fowler's cottage was that house that Pater Holmes bought at Magastota. I can't remember its name, it's either Ivy Cottage or, I don't know, my memory is a long time. Where Mrs. Darling was there, and then the Magastota home. Most probably, the small school which emerged at Magastota should have been at that house, which I'm not too sure. Now from there, that how school was relocated at the Reservoir Road. When the reservoir is above the school, you know, there was only reservoir. When I went to school, there was the fishing club, there was the water spraying down, and there was the trout and carp. They were all been bred there, and then from there they used to go and put those grown-up fishes back to the lake, and it's a beautiful thing, Then there was the only reservoir behind, and this road was called the Reservoir Road. So thereon we went, and then to come back, the painters we had, everybody was uncles and aunties, and the world famous painter, David Painter. Wonderful man. Today I call myself an artist, I did painting. It was his inspiration. I call him Uncle David. We all call him Uncle David. We used to go for picnics and all that, So it was, even for Uncle David's funeral, I was there. I was there at the main church. He was a part of the family. So, and we had a lot of connections with Trinity College, Kandy also, because David Painter, Mrs. Darling, they were all students. She was the only lady student at the Trinity College. That's how David Painter knew those paintings at the Trinity Chapel at Mount Lavinia, but he's a world-class painter. Now coming for the rest, Painter Homes belonged to ICM. Painters had a single section. The single section was the ICM, which was located on the buildings where the present Technical College on the police station road. That is ICM school, the single section of painters. After some time, the ICM got closed up for some reason, and now it had to be taken over by the Technical College. ICM is no more. Then the Painter Memorial School went on, and then later the government took over, and most of them were children, and I was the only black man there at that time, myself and Kishan Bhutani, others were all European burghers. Most of them, after school, they were sent to a farm in Trincomalee to start a life there, and then at the moment, the whole lot, stock and barrel line Australia. Still I'm in touch with Barney Joseph, and at the later stage there was one Rajkumar Vaithilingan, he's in touch with me. Russell Stock has got back. And then it was a different era, and I don't know, it's those memories, those days, good old days, in 1950, 60, you are not born yet, maybe your parents were not born. Then coming back to the homes, I know something about the St. Xavier School. St. Xavier and painters, it's a wonderful thing that you are going to have this challenge, and I bought your expensive cup, a good thing, to the Baker Foundation. When I said, and God, you should remember it, it was Ali Zahir who gave you that for your challenge cup. It's quite a heavy thing, and it will be handed over to Mr. Benjamin Jagannath, and who will be bringing it there and use it for your match. And then it will go from hand to hand to the winning team. The Baker's Challenge Cup. So that's that. So in the meantime, coming back to the history of St. Xavier's, you should be very proud. It is the oldest institution in Aurelia. When you go deep into the history of school and education in Aurelia, the earliest schools I have read on my research is, one was St. Edward's, a school, small institution started for the plant. But unfortunately, it did not survive. It had vanished off. But St. Xavier's keep on growing into great momentum. It was an English boarding school, a very outstanding school which created great men. Then it had a girls section at the rear. It was the girls' house in a location called the King Cottage. Around 1902, the girls' section of St. Xavier's were transferred to a different location called the Nest, adjoining the park, and renamed as the Good Shepherd Convent. Actually, Good Shepherd Convent is the offspring of St. Xavier's. So it's a great scheme. And today, we are proud to see Mr. Benjamin Jagannathan. You should say hats off to him. He has done wonders to bring a renaissance to St. Xavier's. He has done enough research. I'm an historian. He's an historian myself. And then, as a founder member, I've always tipped and hoped that Jagannathan should become the president, but then it all depends for you all on your vote. Very soon we'll be also hoping to have a Baker Foundation election, and I hope he takes over as the presidentship, and we should also have the office bearers. We need them. We are not only Baker Foundation has so many things. There are so many things to go. We have to go to the history of Narayana and sports and tourism, and there's so much of resource of that. There's no time to talk to you on all that. So anyway, coming back to the history of the schools. So when St. Xavier's is back to light, and day by day I can see Mr. Jagannathan is giving enough momentum into it. I wish you all success. I wish you all of you success at the next meeting. So you see, now that the big match is there on the 2nd June, it's a great event. It's a great event, and I hope that the whole world should focus on you, and it should start off a new era. The Baker's Cup, the Baker's Challenge Cup, to be fought by the St. Xaverians and the Painterites. Hoorah! It is Ali Zahir, founder member Baker Foundation, calling from Colombo. It's a special message to all my Painterites and the Xaverians of Narayana. Bye. Good night.